Hello and welcome back to the rundown on Women's Football Talk. Now before we get into today's video, make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss a video of ours, and that you're following us on Twitter and on Instagram for all the latest news and stories as and when it happens. So we're going to have a look back at all the weekend's action here in England with the WSL and all the action across Europe, as it was another busy weekend across the leagues as we welcome back the Frauen Bundesliga in Germany. So let's start off with here in England. And we'll start off with Chelsea versus Tottenham that happened on Sunday lunchtime. Fantastic result for Emma Hayes' side, winning 3-2 after a brilliant performance by Lauren James. Absolutely fantastic, obviously, with her scoring her solo goal in that absolutely amazing run that she did. Went past about 4 or 5 Spurs players before she shot it past Tini Korpela in goal for Tottenham. And yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic game for Lauren James in that stand, and it really put on the case that she's having such a fantastic season for Chelsea and that she's been such a standout player, not just for them but for the whole WSL in total as well. So that was absolutely brilliant, and that obviously came after Jess Carter had put Chelsea in front through a set piece, who she managed to get a nick on a corner after Sam Curry did the initial header and then Carter put it in afterwards. Beth England did equalise about 8 minutes later though. Fantastic ball out wide to Drew Spence, who managed to do a lovely bit of like a ball roll pass. I think it was Kadisha Buchanan, and then she slotted it into Beth England. So the two former Chelsea players linking up there to score past Chelsea. Then that Lauren James goal happened, and then it looked a bit more comfortable and easy then for Chelsea going forward for the rest of the game really. You could see the golfing quality between the two sides, and it really did become a lot easier for Chelsea in that sense. Then just after the hour mark, Guru Reiter made it 3-1 to Chelsea, and that looked to secure the points. However, late on, Nikola Karczewska managed to pull one back for Spurs, and it did give them a bit of hope that they could find an equaliser in the last 5 minutes heading into extra time. However, it wasn't meant to be. So Chelsea held on to all 3 points and go top of the table because of other results elsewhere. And let's go on to one of them other results now, and Manchester United were held to a 0-0 draw against Everton. Mark Skinner's side having 25 shots in the game, only having 4 on target, but a fantastic performance from Courtney Brosnan in the goal for Everton, as well as Gabby George and the rest of the Everton defence were absolutely fantastic at stifling Manchester United. It seemed though that United could not just have their shooting boots on at all on Sunday, having so many chances, hitting the post as well, or just not getting the shot off and a defender getting in the way. Absolutely fantastic for Brian Sorensen's side. Much better performance from when the two sides had met earlier on in the season, where United had won 3-0. But for United, it's a frustrating day at the office, and if they're wanting to be a top 3 side, they've got to be more clinical against Everton and get their shots off and be more clinical. However, fortunate for them was that Arsenal drew their late game on Sunday evening, drawing 0-0 with West Ham United. Again, a similar vein of form as Manchester United, having quite a lot of shots. Arsenal finished with 21 shots to West Ham's 2, 9 on target to West Ham's 1, but again, weren't able to find a way past Mackenzie Arnold in goal for the Hammers. So a frustrating evening for Jonas Ardevel's side, but a perfect weekend for Chelsea, as both Manchester United and Arsenal dropped points, and they managed to pick up all 3 points. So we Manchester City, obviously they're the 4th place team who are on the edge of getting into a Champions League spot. They managed to beat Leicester 2-0. With Khadija Shaw and Chloe Kelly scoring the goals there for Gareth Taylor's side. Chloe Kelly getting her first league goal this season, and it was a lovely goal as well. Aston Villa and Brighton played out a 1-1 draw. I think that was a fair result. Villa probably had the better of the chances but weren't able to capitalise late on. Liverpool managed to beat Reading 2-0, and they are the results that have happened here in England. There is some games coming up this weekend, but not many due to the international break, and these games coming up this weekend are rescheduled ones from earlier on in the season. So into Spain now, and Asier Oshuala scored a hat-trick as Barcelona managed to beat Real Betis by 7-0. Caroline Weir scored her first career hat-trick as Real Madrid put 6 past Valencia, and Levante kept up the pressure with Real Madrid by beating Alaves by 2-0. And this weekend saw the return of the Frauen Bundesliga, as I mentioned. Turbine Potsdam and Bayern Munich's game was postponed due to a frozen pitch, so we don't have a result obviously from that one. Wolfsburg managed to beat SC Freiburg by 4-0 to stay on top of the table. Hoffenheim beat Duisburg by 7-0. Werder Bremen beat Bayer Leverkusen by 2-0, and Eintracht Frankfurt beat Meppen by 1-0, and SGS Essen beat FC Cologne 4-0. Over in France, and this weekend Lyon put 5 past Rodez in a game where it saw Amel Madri score her first goal since returning from maternity leave, and Ellie Carpenter returned to the pitch of action after 259 days out with an ACL injury. So some fantastic scenes there in Lyon. Elsewhere, PSG managed to beat Le Havre by 3-1. Fleury beat Soyuz 4-0, and Montpellier beat Bordeaux by 2-0. In Italy, AC Milan beat Juventus by 2-1. It was a fantastic result there for AC Milan to try and close the gap to Juventus. AS Roma continued to lead the Italian league by beating Como by 1-0, and Inter Milan beat Sassuolo 3-0, with Fiorentina winning 4-1 against Sampdoria, and Pomigliano and Parma playing out a 0-0 draw. And finally, over in the Netherlands, it was a fantastic Friday night for FC20 as they put 9 past Telstar, with Fennekammer once again scoring a hat-trick there. VV Alkmaar and Feyenoord played out a 0-0 draw. Fortuna Sittard beat Heerenveen by 3-1. Zwolle beat Excelsior by 2-0, and Ajax managed to beat PSV by 2-1. So they are all the results from the European leagues this week. We'll have some Conti Cup action here in England. It's the semi-finals later on this week, and like I said, there is obviously more action in the European leagues and a couple of games in England this weekend before we head into the first international break of the season. But until then, like I said at the start, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with post notification bell turned on, and that you are following us on Twitter and on Instagram so you never miss anything out in the world of women's football. But until next time, we'll see you soon.